All right, welcome back to 343 Guilty Spark, which is kind of a misnomer. We'll meet 343 Guilty Spark at the end of this level. Another thing I forgot to mention at the end of last episode that I thought was sort of weird, even when I first played this game, was why did you leave Cortana behind? I mean, I understand why you would do it thematically, because it's just you in the silence, and this is sort of the perfect place for, you know, a person, witty construct not actually be in your head. Just actually let you focus on what the fuck's going on. I keep burping, I apologize. But nevertheless, sort of, interesting choice here, because basically they're letting the silence. You can see there's not even really music in the background right now. I mean, there will be in a second, but they're letting the silence and the rain and everything just sort of play into like it adds a mysterious element to this that I really like, because you're not really sure what the fuck is this, for instance. Oh, it must just be more of Halo's lore, right? It's just, it's just the way Halo is. I mean, you've not been to a rainforesty area yet on Halo. Which of course begs the question, why is there a rainforest on Halo? But whatever. Such a bad time for a reload there. Dead. Stay dead. But like I was saying about this level, I mean, you've got this sort of eerie background noise going on. That counts as music, I'm not really sure. Or if you just count that as more or less a sound effect. You have what I believe is a jackal looking up out over the edge and then going like, okie dokie. This area is not easy to get lost in, but as you can see, if I fall down there, it wouldn't be too hard for me to get a little lost. But if you just follow the lights, it'll bring you to here, which is where I want to be. Boom. I died. My bad. My name is 343 Guilty Spark. Getting ahead of myself, but nevertheless, we all know what's coming. This is what I was trying to pick up earlier. So they encountered something. They're in a large structure in the center. Captain Keyes has been captured. That's about all you know, and the rest of it just keeps breaking up, which is great. Because why wouldn't it break up at least a little bit? And there's a down Covenant ship. You don't know if that's down because of this, because they took it down. There's something else out there, which there is. There's another enemy type that we're going to run into. But it's such a beautiful, I think it's a beautiful moment in this game, because you're building the eerie anticipation of like, okay, what the fuck's going on? Like, there's clearly something else out there, or at least this level's hinting that there's something else out there. that's not Covenant. At this point, you're not really sure what it is or what type of weapon they found. Because a great example would be an alternate way that this could have gone is if, for instance, instead of running into the enemy type class that we're going to run into, if perhaps, you know, you aren't going to end up in a situation where the tables get turned and you have a bunch of guys that get hypnotized. So now instead of fighting just Covenant, now you're fighting Covenant and human. Which of course adds a little bit of a different feel to it, particularly if you're built. I understand humans would be more like probably a more durable version of the grunts, where they'd be able to shoot you and, you know, throw grenades at you and what have you. But they would not. They'd probably have limited shields, so they wouldn't be nearly as difficult as an elite. They wouldn't have. Oh, whoopsie. All right, we're gonna go on the other side this time. As all got blown up. Good job. That rattling noise you hear is essentially a weapon that got stuck in the geometry. Is rattling around, trying to find its place. Alright, well. The bridge on this side is out. But we do have to drop down here because there's not a way to go around the edges here. Which is fine because that's sort of the whole point of this mission, is that, you know, you're not going to get a quote-unquote straight shot at this. You're going to have to kind of, I wouldn't say meander, but you kind of have to make your way back to this, to and from this spot. So it's not just like simply go across the bridge, open up the door, go back across the bridge, and level. It is interesting to see that there's all, like, I mean, there's no, we're not going to run into any elites at this moment. We're only running into grunts and jackals. Which is a little weird because you don't generally run into grunts without their elite counterparts. Now, jackals, you run into groups of jackals all by themselves. And sometimes they're accompanied by grunts, but usually there's some amount of an elite in there somewhere, like basically commanding them, making sure that they're staying quote-unquote on task. And then this right here is, okay, so something happened to the grunts here. You know, you can see there's little yellow or brown spores falling from the sky there. You see the red symbol up there, that's where we want to get up to eventually. But because those aren't laying down right now, I can't shortcut my way up there. If they were laying down, I could jump up there, but yep, I'm gonna swap out here, I think. That's good. We do have to jump up here, go this way, so we can go up. And then from the up position, we'll go across. You're not going to turn me into one of those things. So you can see there was some sort of battle here. Yeah, you got a guy who's PTSDing at this point. Okay, well maybe, you know, got over involved with the Covenant. Okay, well, I don't know about that, because he's saying you're not going to turn me into one of those things. What things is he talking about? So you can sort of get the idea that we're sort of starting to run towards a you know, quote-unquote zombie flick here. And then you got the red symbols up top in Covenant, which I don't know what that means. I'm sure it means something to the extent of, like, stay away. You can look down into here. Apparently they were doing some sort of because Cortana mentions this, but apparently the Forerunners were doing some sort of experimentation on this, and they had to contain it, which is the whole point of Halo, the whole Halo series. But so this character is mentioned in the first level. This is Private Johnson, who made it up to about right here. I'm sorry, Jenkins. Private Jenkins made it up to right here. So now we're gonna see how Jenkins saw in his helmet. And this will be everything from the time that they're dropping.
Watch your mouth, son. This stuff is your history. It should remind you, Grunts, what we're fighting to protect.
Hey, does the government want to wipe out this particular part of my history? That's fine by me.
Scared. Better it than us. You ask them real nice next time you see them, Vicente. I'm sure they'll be happy to oblige.
LZ looks clear. I'm bringing us down.
So you can see there's a different pilot than Fohammer.
Go, go, go!
So we're fast forwarding. We've reached the Covenant structure that we, or not Covenant structure, we reached this Halo structure that we just came through.
Mendoza, move it up! Wait here for the captain and his squad, then get your ass inside.
Sir!
Okay, let's move!
Well, this is all part of a cutscene I'm not controlling, and Master Chief is fast forwarding some more here.
Which is weird, right? I mean, look at it. Something scrambled the insides.
This is your first instance with the Elite in this level,
I don't know.
mentioning that something inside of it scrambled him. They don't think it's friendly fire, but they're not sure what it is.
Control. Badass elite units. All KIA.
Real pretty. Friend of yours?
Now we just met.
Right, well, let's get this door open.
I'll try, sir. But it looks like these Covenant worked pretty hard to lock it down.
Just do it, son.
Yes, sir.
Something's locked, there's usually a pretty good reason behind why it's locked. However, I don't think it matters at this point, because I'm pretty sure whatever they're trying to lock in here already got out in some capacity. So, you know, the fact that the humans broke in here doesn't really matter. It's already open.
Boy, you always got a bad feeling about something.
Sarge, can you hear me?
What's going on, soldier?
We've got contact. Slap them. But they're not Covenant. They're just tearing through us. What's the clown? Ground!
Corporal, do you copy? Over. Mendoza, get your ass back up to second squad's position and find out what the hell is going on.
But
I don't have time for your lip, soldier. I gave you an order.
Sarge, listen.
What is that? Where's that coming from, Mendoza?
I don't. There! Get out!
Hold still! Hold still! Let him have it! Sergeant, we're surrounded. Damn it, Jenkins! Fire your weapons!
There are too many,
Don't
Sarge!
even think about it.
What is it?
So you can see some of the, what we will soon known as the Flood, do break up. Yeah, so he was killed in action there. So now the fun starts. Now that we know we're fighting, we're gonna... the Flood. This is the door they came out of. That was a mistake. Let's redo that. I don't get to keep more of my health. So yeah, behind each one of these doors is going to probably be another group of these little flood spawns, spores. Believe it or not, they do very little damage to your shields overall. But if your shields are completely down, I'm pretty sure these things eat right through your health like you wouldn't believe. So one of the things they talk about in, I think it's Halo 2, might be Halo 3, I'm not sure. They talk about the best way to deal with these types of flood is short control bursts. Which is an okay strategy, I guess. You don't obviously want to waste a ton of your ton of your ammo on this. I'm just sort of trying to go into the doors. This is a good way to essentially bottleneck the area, but in addition, it also allows you to get some of the, you know, the little lost guys that didn't get out the door. You know, make sure that they get out, because otherwise it won't spawn the next wave. Alright, now that we've taken care of those, here comes the next iteration here. So we've got the little spawn guys, and now you have some sort of zombied version of the elites, which is always interesting. Which is weird because I don't remember the I don't remember grunts or jackals getting. They might, but I don't remember them getting Covenant version, or I'm sorry, Flood versions of themselves. I don't know if they're too stupid or they're not good for Flood hosts or something. I don't know. I just don't seem to remember them. I know that the elite, this shit happens to the elites, and then there'll be another species we'll run into in the second game. They're also habitable for Flood, but oh, I did it. But this door's broken. So it doesn't matter. It's an okay strategy until they come down onto the rafters, and then it's not such a great strategy. They just sort of run around you, and you don't really have an opportunity to damage them. You don't want to do that either. You don't want to corner yourself. So I am trying to look for the door out, but I've clearly killed myself in doing that. Oh, I'm all the way back here now. Great. I thought I would have been checkpoint at some point. I do this whole section over again. That blows. Yeah, they're all still stuck in there. A well-placed grenade does great work on those guys, but kind of a big weapon for such a small enemy. One of the things I don't do very well in this game is knowing when it's okay to go and when it's not. A great example would be, like right now I'm pretty sure the door is open, so I could just run through this area. But I always get worried that I'm going to overwhelm myself by not killing the guys that are behind me. So those guys can respawn. Typically it's usually when one of the little dudes that little spawn dudes run into them and revive them. But in this game that's not as clear. Escape! That time I got a checkpoint. Sticky grenades are also terrible against these guys because they want to try to melee you. And when they try to melee you, they're bringing the bomb to you. Congrats. I don't remember there being any Covenant down there. I guess they didn't spawn or something. I'm guessing they were supposed to spawn and they didn't. Kind of weird. Happens. Game, despite the fact of how long it took to make, is still kind of janky. Yeah, I'm just kind of trying to get by you guys. I don't want, like, I know I'm in your neighborhood, but, like, I'm just trying to leave. I'm not trying to, you know, take over your territory or whatever. I'm just trying to peacefully leave. Okay, up, I went back the way I just came. That's wrong. Gotta actually reload the gun there, Chris. Want to shoot the bullets. There you are. You know what I really need? I really like how the game does this. Because at this point right now, we're running into Elite. that have been turned into blood spawn. Okay. And we ran into their little baby brother version. Okay. But what we have not run into yet is we have not run into... I think we're going backwards. Yeah, we went backwards. That's bad. Place confuses the shit out of me sometimes. I can also see there's guys on my radar, so I'm trying to make sure I know what I'm doing before I continue. There it is. That's where I want to be. Ta-da! Simple, right? So this bridge does not stay lit, unfortunately. Oh, I thought this was the bridge that doesn't stay lit. Okay, never mind. Never mind. So this is something different. Okay, so we got a bunch of little spawn dudes. Alright, so we're gonna... Up. Like that elevator's not gonna work. So as soon as you realize that your elevator is dead, now you gotta go backwards, and now it's like, okay, what the fuck now? So you go across here again, and you're like, okay, that's interesting. Now what do? You make it your way across over to here. Not sure what this is. I'm guessing it's probably one of those hidden secret areas. Oh, what's this? A bunch of dead guys? And what is this we have right here? Oh, it could be a freaking zombie shooter without a good old-fashioned shotgun. This is also the most buff the shotgun's ever going to be. It gets like, it's your 1, 2, 3, 4, roughly, probably about 10 shots there. I'm guessing without actually counting. And, super effective, you might guess. Super effective against flood units. Now this is a bit disheartening. Was instead of the elevator going up like I wanted it to, it went down, which means I'm going deeper into the facility instead of out. Makes me sad.